Yes, good morning, children. I hope that you are all well and fine. Now I am discussing about the hydrosphere, which is present in 9th class social textbook, third lesson. Already I discussed previous class. In that, part 1 is completed about hydrosphere. Hydrosphere totally deals about water that is present on the earth's surface. That is hydrosphere, about water and its constituents. It will be discussed in the hydrosphere. So already I have given one tree diagram. In that I explained everything about hydrosphere, what are the sources, what are the things. Now here the remaining part I am going to tell, that is about hydrosphere part 2, which is present in 9th class social textbook, third lesson. Right. So fresh water. So totally I told about, for example, this is earth. In that 21% of the area is land area, and the remaining total it is 79% of the earth's surface is covered with water. And in that we can see seas, rivers, lakes, oceans, and many other we can see in that. So how much water we are using, how much fresh water is present on the surface of the earth, means of the total volume of the water on earth is only 2.75%. The total volume of the water that is present on the earth's surface, in that only 2.75% of the water, only 2.75 means, for example, out of 100% of water, we are having only 2.7% of water is fresh, and the remaining 96.25% is saline water, that is salty water. Most fresh occurs in the form of permanent ice. So this 2.75% of water, mostly it occurs in permanent ice, then snow, Antarctic and Arctic regions. The principal source of water from human uses, like the principal source of water for human is like lakes, rivers, soil moisture, relatively shallow groundwater bodies. So water basin is also one source that is present on the earth's surface. The usable, yes, out of 2.75% of the fresh water that is present in the form of snow, ice, soil moisture, and also in the form of lakes, rivers, that will be present, and groundwater also. Among the 2.75%, only 1% of water is used. Only 1% of the water is used. Remaining fresh water is drawn in seas and oceans. Next to water bodies. So water bodies means, I told in the earlier, now itself, that water bodies, big water bodies are there on the earth's surface, like that we call it as oceans. And in the world or on the earth's surface, it has been characterized into 5. First is Pacific Ocean. Next, Atlantic Ocean. Then Indian Ocean. Remember the word Indian Ocean. Next, Antarctic Ocean. Antarctic Ocean. Then Arctic Ocean. So these are the 5 oceans that we can see on the Earth's surface. The biggest and the deepest ocean is the Pacific Ocean. The biggest and the deepest ocean is the Pacific Ocean. Now, what are the land? What are the places it is occupied? Separates is yes, this Pacific Ocean. Now, first of all, let us discuss about the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean separates Asia and Oceania. That is Australia, New Zealand, and from the Americans. So Asia separates Asia and Oceania. So this Pacific Ocean is separating Asia and Oceania, like Australia, New Zealand, Papua and Guyana together from the Americans. So like this Pacific Ocean. Now Atlantic Ocean separates America from Europe and Asia. So Atlantic Ocean. The second one is Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean separates America. So it is separating America from where? From whom it is separating America means from 2 continents. That is Europe and Africa. Atlantic Ocean is separating America from 2 continents, that is Europe and Africa. Similarly, Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean washes southern Asia and separates Africa and Australia. So Indian Ocean is washing. It is washing southern Asia. It washes South Asia. Means so south, on the south side we have Indian Ocean. This Indian Ocean is washing the southern Asia and it is separating 2 continents. What are the 2 continents means? Africa and Australia. So Indian Ocean is separating 2 continents. One is Africa and the other is Australia. Next one is Antarctic Ocean. The next part is Antarctic Ocean. Antarctic Ocean sometimes considered an extension of Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean, which extends to Australia. So this Antarctic Ocean is the extension of Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean, which encircles Australia. The last one is Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is considered as the Sea of Atlantic Ocean. So Arctic Ocean, it is considered as the Sea of Atlantic Ocean, which covers much of the Arctic and washes upon the North America and Eurasia. So water bodies are 5 big water bodies. What are the big water bodies means? We can say Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Antarctic Ocean. 5 oceans are there. Now, oceans as a source. Ocean as a source. How we are considering ocean as a source or resource? Ocean as a resource. So, ocean is a big resource for both biotic and abiotic resources, which are present in the ocean water, and bottoms, which are called as marine resources. So it is both useful for both biotic and abiotic. Which are present in ocean water, and bottoms, which are called as marine resources. The civilization of man has started along with water bodies due to abundant availability of the food and minerals. So if we go through science, it is telling clearly that the civilization of man, or where man has started his life, means from these oceans only. Why from oceans only means? Because it contains abundant food and minerals in the oceans. It gives, yes, ocean as a resource to food products like fishes, prawns, crabs, etc. Non-food products like coral, mineral resources, oil, petroleum, gas, energy resources like tidal energy, wave energy, biomass energy to generate electricity. In addition to this, oceans are also being used for marine farming. Apart from that, it is also used for marine farming. That is increasing the production of sea animals by feeding and growing them in artificial location. Ocean ranching, that is training of sea animals, and for pedal and germ culture also, oceans are acting as a resource for the people. Resources. Next one is, what are the uses of oceans? So many uses are there for the oceans. Abundant uses are there. Like we will study now what are the uses of oceans, or how oceans are useful to mankind. First one. So what are the uses of oceans? First one. Oceans are storehouses of fish. So oceans are acting as a storehouses for fishes. So abundant fish is there. That cannot be stored in the refrigerators. So for that, oceans are acting as a storehouses for fishes. Secondly, since early times people were dependent on ocean for food. So since if we go past, right from the starting period of human race, from that period, it is acting. Since early times people depended most on oceans for food. Chlorine, fluorine, bromine and iodine are found in oceans. So the chemicals like chlorine, fluorine, bromine and iodine, these are the salts, that is chemicals, that are also found in oceans. Tides and waves are renewable resources. Tides and waves are renewable resources. Oceans are source for rainfall. So if you want to get rain, then oceans are responsible for that also. Oceans acts as an international highways. So oceans is acting as an international highways. Means it is connecting from one country to another country. So oceans are acting as an international highways. Next. Greek civilization, Roman civilization all flourished on banks of rivers and oceans. So if you see the history, that is Greek civilization or Roman civilization. So all these civilizations are flourished through banks of the rivers and oceans. Rock petroleum, natural gas are extracted from under the oceans. So all the petroleum products that are extracted from the under the oceans, that is under oceans. Oceans are mined for mineral salts. So oceans are mined for mineral salts, sand, gravel, manganese, copper, nickel, gold, etc. So these are all the uses of oceans. Next. So is life possible without oceans? Is life possible without oceans? So let us discuss on that. Whether the life is possible without oceans or not. Now let us discuss. Yes. Oceans, yes. If oceans are international highways and facilitate imports and exports among different countries. So oceans are international highways, which is possible to travel from one country to another country through oceans. And also it is helpful for import and export business also. That is done through oceans. So if oceans are not there, then how the life will be of the people? Next one. Oceans are sources of rainfall. So oceans are sources of rainfall. So because of oceans only, we are getting rainfall. Suppose if there is no oceans, then we won't get rainfall. So how we get rain, we know. That is water cycle, through water cycle. They are the sources of seafood, which is staple food for some people. There are some, yes, staple food. This staple food means here mostly people depend on seafood like fishes, crabs, and many other animals we can see in oceans. That is staple food for the people in some areas. Oceans are warehouses of minerals. So oceans are warehouses for minerals like petroleum, natural gas, manganese, etc., which are necessary for industrial development. Hence, life of a man is impossible without ocean. So by studying all this, we can say that without oceans, life is not possible. We can live, but not as now. If there are no oceans, then we can't lead a happy life, a healthy life. Last one is salinity of the oceans different. Why? Oceans. So from place to place, the salinity of the oceans is different. Why? For that also we have different reasons why the salinity of the oceans are different. The difference are observed in the salinity of oceans. For example, Dead Sea has 238% of salinity. So Dead Sea, 238% of salinity. Baltic Sea and Hudson Bay have 3 to 15%. Baltic Sea and Hudson Bay, 3 to 15%. See the difference. Why that much huge difference is there between one ocean to another ocean? Yes. For that, let us study. So continuous movements of water. Why this indifference is seen? Why the salinity is different from one ocean to another ocean, or from one place to another place? Why? For that, continuous movements of oceans. So continuous movements of ocean water from one place to another due to rotation of the earth. Yes, due to the rotation of the earth and continuous movement of water in the oceans and winds which takes water here and there, causing change in the salinity of water. So first is rotation of the earth, second is movement of water, and the third is movement of the wind, that is tide we can say. So these are the three reasons the salinity of the water changes from one place to another place. Second is the salinity of oceans depends on its location. So salinity of the water is depending on its location, where it is. That is rate of evaporation, amount of precipitation, and amount of fresh water added to the ocean. Yes. So this is first point. Second point is, so from where it is located. Location is also important. Why means rate of evaporation, how much water is evaporated, how much fresh water is added, how much fresh water is added, and how much precipitation is taken place. This is also one of the reasons why the salinity of the water changes. The last one is the presence of minerals. So minerals present in the oceans. The presence of minerals like sodium chloride, NaCl, magnesium, Mg, etc. causes the difference in the ocean water. So these are the reasons why salinity of the oceans is different from one ocean to another ocean. Right, children? I hope you have understood this. So for your easy understanding, listen to the class once, twice, thrice. After that, prepare the notes on that. Then read. Then write without saying. So I hope you all do these activities. Thank you, children. Take care. Bye.